Selection tool. So in this little exercise, what I want to do is I want to show you the selection tool. We're going to use the following tools. So let's just first look at the tools that we have for our selections. The first one is the rectangular or elliptical marquee tool. So let's say, if I want a circle that's going to fit somewhere like this, I can just go. And at this point, I'm close enough that I can, make the selection from there. Same thing with the rectangular. It's not as commonly used, but it's definitely a tool you can use. The next thing is the lasso tool. So this is a freehand lasso tool. So basically, I just make a design, or I can just go around the object and decide, okay, this is what I'm going to start, and then I can go from there and then add some selection and go from there. So we'll show you in a second. The other one is a polygonal lasso tool, which most likely is more about lines. So it actually works pretty good and will do a fine job with most cases. So I'll do a quick, again, this is quick. This is I think what I suggest would work better. So at this point I have my mask fairly, and I just want to see what it looks like. To do that, what I'm going to do is I use the Q letter on my keyboard. I'm going to type Q, and that basically gives me a quick mask and gives me an idea of, okay, am I in the ballpark or am I totally off or something like that. So that's a good also tool to use for selection. So Q, I'm going to get out by clicking Q. The next tool, so I'm going to deselect again. The next tool is the magnetic lasso tool. So the computer basically makes calculation as to the areas that you can select from. So this works. I don't use it all the time because as you will see, it's not super precise. You have to be a little careful, but it does a fine job right now, and it's fairly quick. Just remember, the goal is to have a really good selection. So if it's a quick selection that you want, in a second, I did this, and then I can spend a few minutes and either add and subtract. But I'm going to deselect, and I'm going to show you if I were to do it on this with a little quicker. I can make a selection fairly quickly. So it's great. It's great if you are going to do a quick selection and just want something fairly quick. That's a good start, and you go from there and you have your quick selection. Okay, very good. That's the magnetic tool. Then you have two other tools, the quick selection mask and the magic wand. So the quick selection mask does select an area, and as I move and go over certain areas, it's going to add everything within that color. Let me see if I do the foam. Boom. Let me see if I can do this bottle. And it went too fast, but I want to show you. I'm just going to do this area. So let's say I want to select this fabric. Basically, as I move over part of the image, it will select everything within the color. So you can see that the last few tones were fairly similar, and I did a little more. So to add or subtract to a selection, you can either click Shift to add, Option to subtract. So you can see as I you can see this is a plus, minus, and I'm just going to subtract. The computer is going to try to find the edges, and now I have my selection. Let's say I want to select the camera, which is the Olga, and I'm just going to drag over. The camera does a good job. I don't want this part, so let me zoom in so you guys can see a little better. Okay, I don't want this, so I'm going to click Option. Okay, and I have my selection. Okay, I'm going to deselect. The other tool is the magic wand. So the magic wand is going to select everything within that color. So if I click this, it's going to select everything within this color. So select all the color in an area. It will do a quicker job and that's about it for now.